people have been so conditioned that I do this and I get this. I do this and I get this. And what we know from being in business is there's so many times that we do this and we don't get this over here, and it just crushes your motivation, and people don't wake up inspired and ready to tackle the world the next day.
Welcome to the Raquel Show. This show is for entrepreneurs who want to play bigger in business and in life. And today I have a very special guest that I met at an event. Matter of fact, at a public speaking influence event. And immediately he stood out. He's definitely meant for stages. He's born to impact the world. He's a top producer in San Diego and is one of the absolute best in his company. He served in the military, and he's the reason why I'm excited for you all to meet this individual is his mindset to pursue anything with excellence. He's taken his skill sets and his talent of being an investor and launching a new company that will help even more people. And I cannot wait for him to share. Welcome to the show, Deven Ortiz.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be able to cover anything and everything that you want to discuss. I am an open book.
Yes. And I love that about you. And so a lot of people don't know who you are. Obviously, you're a top producer out of 6,000 plus agent at your company. How did you get into real estate and kind of like lead us up to where you're at kind of today and what your team looks like, if any?
Oh my goodness, such a long-winded answer, a long journey into getting into the real estate space. I actually was not born understanding that there was a difference between renters and owners. I thought that everyone just paid rent on the first of the month. And then when it was like, hey, actually people own these structures, it was just a foreign concept to me. So I didn't really grasp the aspect of real estate and think that was in the deck of cards until years and years later down my life when I was in the service. And my uncle sat me down during Easter Sunday and was like, hey, Dev, I know you've been in the service for a few years now. Have you thought about using your home loan? And I was like, I'm not sure what specifically you're talking about. No one's told me about any home loans or whatever. He's like, okay, well, I've never served, so maybe you don't have a home loan, but I know you have some guaranteed income. Have you thought about replacing that person that you pay every first of the month? You already have people that you're living with that are other fellow service members. So think about getting a loan from the bank, collecting it from the service members like you already do with room rent, and then just paying your own mortgage, opposed to I was taking the money and then giving it to the landlord. And so I didn't pull the trigger in 2009. And what a great opportunity that would have been to purchase. But my scarcity mindset, I was like, I'm young. I just joined the service. Like, this isn't about what I'm going to go after at this point in time. It happened again in 2013. And it just smacked me in the face. He said, look at how much homes have gone up since 2009 to 2013. I took a look at it. I did a deep dive. And from there, I was pre-approved and in escrow within 30 days of that conversation. So just one thing, no matter who you're talking to out in this world, you can plant seeds that can really change the way that people maneuver throughout life, and it can affect people for generations. So that's one definitely takeaway that I would say is, hey, just focus on planting seeds everywhere you go, because there is an abundance out here and the harvest is plentiful. And so when it comes to actually me in real estate, I was purchasing my second property, and I actually had it planted in my head that I could be an actual real estate agent when the listing agent called me that evening. And it was amazing. I was like, hello. She's like, yeah, this is the listing agent. You just had a meeting with me and your buyer's agent yesterday. And I just wanted to let you know, number one, don't tell your buyer's agent I'm calling you. But number two, the way that you handled yourself was extremely professional. And I think if you ever shall get out of the military, you should seriously consider real estate.
That's really cool.
I called to the table my agent and I said, hey, in order for me to purchase this property, I need to sit down at the table with you, the listing agent, and the seller, because I want to negotiate my own deal.
No way. That's really, really cool. That's really cool. So you negotiated your own deal.
Negotiated my own deal. We literally talked at the table, walked out the front door. We discussed. I told him this is the way I want it. Yeah, I allowed him to do his aspect. I didn't strip him away from his ability to speak or be in a decision or a decision maker, et cetera, when it came to the negotiations. But I was definitely commanding and controlling him every move like a remote control. And so she reached out to me and she had said, if you ever get out of the military, you should seriously consider real estate. I had then closed the transaction, told him, hey, what do you think about if I were to get my real estate license, if I could come and work for you? He said, absolutely. I said, where'd you get your license from? He sent me the website. I didn't contact him for 6 months, maybe 7 months. I called him the next time I talked to him and I said, hey, I got my real estate license. He was like, no shit. No, you didn't. I said, yeah, I did. And he said, I failed my test 3 times. You passed on your first time? I said, yeah. Where do I show up? I'm ready to work. And that's really how the cookie crumbled from there.
So you've been in the business how long?
Going on 5 years in October.
Okay. And you're one of the top agents in your company, right? What makes you what do you think separates you from the average agent?
What separates me is just my tenacious ways to understand that just because we take a loss today, just because we have a no today, doesn't mean that we can't create something tomorrow. So my ability to get shut down, have nothing, no. I know what it's like to have bad credit, not make money, etc. So I'm able to work in the face of what seems to be absolutely no results. And I believe that's what sets myself apart, because people have been so conditioned that I do this and I get this. I do this and I get this. And what we know from being in business is there's so many times that we do this and we don't get this over here, and it just crushes your motivation, and people don't wake up inspired and ready to tackle the world the next day.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've learned about you over the year is that you're tenacious. Yes, I agree with that. But you're also big on customer service. And I want to kind of talk about that. You know, one of the things you do, as I was reading some of your bio and researching, is you love to partner with agents for improved customer service. While most agents, and we're talking about, some people don't wake up inspired, right? While most agents want to keep it all to themselves, keep everything, so that they can keep the commission, but you actually have a different approach when it comes to partnering with agents on customer service. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely within the internal confines of being in business and real estate. What sets myself apart is focusing on the client journey and then the customer service experience. I feel like as I've traveled around the world, I realized that in America, we typically have great customer service, but the product is very poor. And then around the world, their customer service is very poor, but their product is very superior to some of the things we get here in America. Just for instance, food, right? Like our customer service and food is amazing, but the food quality is very, very poor. And it's vice versa all around the rest of the world. So I was like, how can I take my experiences traveling the world, incorporate it within business, focusing on the client journey? I love during your mastermind how you brought in George and how he just hammers on the customer journey. And so taking my experiences being a consumer, first and foremost, and having a consumer facing lens was one aspect and a piece of the pie. Then once I got into real estate, I took a sales facing lens, and then I identified all the massive opportunity for growth on behalf of the consumer and the sales agent. And I feel like I've created the match made in heaven, which is called Real Estate Shield, where we focus on providing the highest level customer service client journey that will then invest into deposits that people don't forget. And that's the memories that when they reflect upon, that they reflect upon certain things. In the sales process, there's a peak, a pit, and a peak that we end on with Real Estate Shield. Except for most people in sales, there's a peak moment, and then they allow the transaction or whatever the consumer product is, and it ends in a pit. What I mean by that is the peak moment is, oh my God, I'm pre-qualified. I never thought that this was possible. all these things, so much excitement. And then they get out into the actual house hunts. It's called a house hunt, not a house pick. And they start getting beat out on offers, and they're realizing, wow, this is a lot more competitive and maybe more than what I signed up for. And then even once they get their offer accepted, they're excited, but they're like, wow, I'm already feeling beat up. And then they find out about an earnest money deposit. They find out about inspection costs. And wait, I'm going to inspect a seller's property, but yet what if I find someone buried under the foundation, a slab crack or a leak or a hole in the roof? Maybe those are extreme examples, but they find things out and then they decide, you know what, this house isn't for me. You tell them, well, that's just a cost of doing business. You're not going to get that money back for inspections. And so then they start going down this rabbit hole of what seems to be a lot of risk without a lot of gain associated, unless you make it to the final destination. So we stabilize the pit by providing a higher level customer service and journey. And then we end with another peak moment. We go ahead and send people to Padre games, sporting events. My most favorite that I offer every single family is a helicopter flight, where we're literally going to take you to go see your home from a bird's eye perspective. So we're going to take you to see your home from a bird's eye perspective, because I feel like home ownership changes the perspective of humans. And home ownership is a relatively new concept for people. It was really only meant for royalty, kings, queens, the extremely privileged and wealthy. And now that we're able to help impact families and have something that was meant for the extremely privileged for every single person, I want to change their perspective. So I do it with a helicopter flight, because most people will fly in a plane at some point in their life in a first world country, but very seldom do they actually go in a helicopter.
You know, you said a lot in that. Number one, I always love when people have actually start a company and launch a company that actually have been boots on the ground. Right? It's no different than coaching. It's like you want to know somebody that's actually done it, been where you want to go, and now you're creating this new company, or you've launched this new company called Real Estate Shield. And I love how you talk about the peak, the pit, because there's so many different things in every customer journey, especially real estate, of the stress factor. It's really high, low. It's probably one of the most stressful things that you'll ever do in a lifetime, besides like death, they say, right? Is buying a house. Selling a house. Nobody wakes up to say, I'm going to sell a house with no stress, right? Like nobody, and the whole process of interviewing and all that stuff. Why do you feel it's important now more so than ever to have a company like Real Estate Shield?
It's a great question. And the answer is very simple. Millennials are taking over. They're very tech-based, automation, system, and process-based. However, they always forget, especially in this industry, to humanize the sales process. You had just said that within real estate or purchasing a home could be one of the most stressful times of anyone's life. We're talking about we're breaking generational curses. We are breaking scarcity mindsets. The gut pressure it takes to sign for hundreds of thousands of dollars and be on the hook for it is something that most people just are petrified of. So then from there, how do we then focus on providing the highest client customer service while then impacting the world? And so most people are A+ in tech, automations, etc. Everyone's tried it. Zillow, Redfin, Opendoor, iBuyer platforms, cut out the agent, frequently asked questions here or there. But what I've keyed in on is that no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And so how do you prove that you care about someone? And I feel like it's truly hand-holding and being the training wheels throughout someone's client journey and customer experience to answer the questions personally and not on a frequently asked question website or anything else like that. But the massive pit that's within real estate is that they're handing out these licenses like they're candy. The real estate license is literally the second most held license in America. Do you know what the first one is?
Drivers.
The driver's license. And how many bad drivers are on the road?
A lot.
So many, right? So how many bad agents are out there that are actually representing families that are putting them in position to buy homes that maybe don't fit in with their short-term and their long-term goals, don't give them all the information they need to make a well-informed decision, or are really having commission breath? They just want to close the deal for them and not actually making an impact. So that's why we stand behind people over profit all day long. For every decision we always make, it's what is best for the people, and it's not about our checking or our savings account.
Why should agents use your company?
Real Estate Shield is made for agents and it's made for clients. So it's truly a match made in heaven, because we're framing the agent to be the hero at all times. They do not train agents, at least what I know of, in any state on the actual contracts utilized. So they're going to train you on the laws that may uphold the contracts. But do they ever go over with you the residential purchase agreement, line by line, the who, what, when, where, why, what can get you on hot water, how to strategically implement certain tactics? Do they go over the seller property questionnaire, transfer disclosure statement, natural hazard disclosure statement, you name it, all the way through? They don't. So if they don't train you on it, how do you actually know that you're positioning your clients in the best and appropriate position in order to win and to avoid the most amount of pitfalls? You want to streamline the process for people, because people, number one, want to save time, and two, want to feel protected. So with Real Estate Shield, this is the gold standard of real estate, where it provides the additional value that maybe the agents aren't even equipped, because most agents don't even own a home of their own. And even if they do, they may be like myself. To be honest, when I buy properties, I was not actually reading the fine print, and I was even in real estate myself. I was clicking through it and just getting it done. But that's not the answer when it comes to any customer service or client journey. So what we focus on is, how do we take things off the plate of the agent and save them time, with knowing when you turn your back and you focus on making more sales calls, when you have more conversations, that your clients are getting the standard in which you demand, if not a higher standard, so that there is a peace of mind with the agent that when they have Real Estate Shield involved in their transaction, that there has never been another service delivered that is as 5-star, complimentary, and a white glove service like the one that Real Estate Shield provides. And so partnering with the agent is massive, and then taking care of the clients and making sure that they know that you are truly the hero, that you have plugged in this spark plug to provide them the highest quality customer service. It's literally the best product that I've ever seen in the real estate space.
I love it. And for some of the agents, and we have a large audience of agents that listen to our podcast, is for those that are listening or watching this on YouTube, what makes us different than an in-house transaction coordinator?
Yeah, in-house transaction coordinator is merely going to send out the documents. What I started to understand was it wasn't just my agents that were letting me down when I bought a home. It was that the TC was sending me things via DocuSign, but I'm expected to be the consumer to read through these hundreds of documents, page by page. No one's explaining them to me. I have questions. And what do we know about the reading comprehension in America? It's very, very small, right? Like, it should be spoon-fed to your clients so they understand what's going on. Are they purchasing in an HOA? And is there an architectural committee that may not allow them to build a 2-story ADU? We do deep dives into all these type of things for your clients, with your clients. They're all recorded so you can watch them. We have a transcription of every single meeting that ever happens. You get a debrief note the minute that the conclusion of that meeting happens. You get a text message. Meeting 2 just concluded with Real Estate Shield. These are your clients' comments, questions, and concerns. And you're framed as the hero at all times. So you get more referrals, and you are the shining star of the entire transaction.
Let's go on the flip side. What do you think some of the biggest mistakes? You've been in the business for a while. You've launched Real Estate Shield. What do you think some of the mistakes agents make today that really jeopardize their customer service?
It's that they don't understand that merely the work starts once you get in escrow. Now, a lot of agents know, hey, this may fall out. I don't know if it's going to close, but truly guiding your clients, providing them all the information they need to make a well-informed decision, while then actually having subject matter expert be there every step of the way is the biggest pitfall. Because they're entering a cave, a dark cave all by themselves. And you're expecting to say, hey, well, I'll see you on the other end. Yeah, I'll be there for the inspection. I'll be here if there's an appraisal discrepancy or whatnot, but just go ahead and DocuSign items and sign them at your convenience. It's just not the answer. That's the biggest no-no, but it's literally what 99 point whatever percent of agents do. And it's just because you don't want to put yourself in a position to be asked a question that you don't know. And I think we can all understand that. Mm-hmm. So why not partner with someone like Real Estate Shield that has brokers on staff that have been in the game for a minimum of 20 years, mediators from the state of California, some of the heaviest hitting mediation states in the country that understand what's a big deal, what's not, and go through each document with a fine tooth comb, because every client is going to be different. Their disc profile, are they a D, an I, an S, a C, et cetera? And they need to be held and coddled differently. Like, I'm a D personality. You better not expect me to sit on a meeting for 2 hours. Give me the meat and potatoes. Give me the information I need to make a well-informed decision. Is there any red flags in here? No. Okay, boom, get it done. But there's people like a client I just had that sat on a meeting with my clients, the risk manager sat on a meeting with my clients for 8 hours and 7 minutes because they literally wanted to read every page, line item by line item by line item, and ask the questions that they had and the concerns. And guess what? That deal closed. And I don't think it would have closed if we didn't provide that level of service. And to be honest, and I'm the CEO of this company, I will not do that. But that's not the answer. The answer is, if you're not going to do it, find someone that will, add them a part of your client journey and provide the highest level customer experience that can ever be seen. And that's why I have a massive raving fan base and referral base where people will literally fight for me at the dinner table if their family member, friend, or colleague thinks that they're going to use a different real estate agent.
So good. Yeah, I love how you bring this up. Not only the fact that there is Real Estate Shield, but at the end of the day, even for the entrepreneurs that are not in real estate that are listening to this, is what in your customer journey should you be thinking about? Should you be leveling up? Should you be improving? Should you be upgrading, right? So that you can have longevity in the business through referrals.
I haven't prospected, and I'm removing myself out of real estate so people understand I'm not the competition. I want to take what made Deven a transitioning service member and created $1 million real estate business within 36 months. I want to give that to every agent in America. And for the agents that are already out producing me, I want them to try this product out. And I guarantee your money back that if you don't see the value, we'll go ahead and deliver this service for no cost to you. But I really have a firm belief that everyone will see the value in this actual product. So that's my overall goal. And when it comes to entrepreneurs, it's, if you haven't purchase your own product, then how do you really know what a consumer faces going through your client journey? Like, you have to be in alignment with the product that you're selling. And there's a major misalignment just in real estate alone where, and it's not to knock any of you agents that don't own a home of your own, just let it be on your vision board for this year. Execute the game plan, invest in real estate. And I promise you, you'll become a better agent. You'll understand the journey a lot more, because then you're able to look at it from a sales facing lens and actual consumer facing lens, which most don't have. So they can't even connect the dots.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, I've been in this game for over 20 years, right? 2 decades. I've bought properties in different states. And I can tell you the last couple that I bought out of state, even being in the industry and we were signing documents that we didn't know, we were so lost that it forced us to actually improve our own customer journey because we felt like a number. Yeah. We felt like a number, right? And so I love what you're doing. Is it only available in certain states? Is it nationwide? What is the landscape of Real Estate Shield today?
Yeah, currently it's available in California. We're working on partnering. So if you know of anyone that may be interested in being an active role investor. We're not just looking for monetary and then allow us to scale. I need an active owner and person that can help scale this nationwide. And so that's what we're looking for. We're in the state of California right now. We've actually ran 500 transactions through this already. So it's not a new company. It's just new to the general public because this is what I built my business off of. And so we are now launching it to everyone. We've already ran through beta. We're in a full-blown launch. You'll see a massive marketing push entering over this next 30-day wave. And so we're in California right now, but we plan on being in subsequent states and kind of growing from West Coast to East Coast, because what we know about purchasing in especially East Coast territories, et cetera, is that the landscape changes in regards to the role and responsibilities of the agents. So we have some things to work out there, but we're excited about Pacific Northwest, Arizona, and places like that are on the horizon. Will be here sooner rather than later.
Love it, love it, love it. And one of the things that I love about you is that you're an agent. You saw a need, a gap in the market, not only to protect the consumer, but also protect the agents. And I also love the fact that you have the experience of even helping investor, because I see it on your stories. You're an investor yourself. Let's just talk about that and kind of wrap up of like, what, and I think it just kind of goes in line with what you actually built, right? You've been through so many different experiences, and real estate is just not a transaction. If you're going to treat it as, whether you're in business or not, it's not just a transaction, right? You can actually change a legacy of a family. I mean, there are so many people that we've helped, from one person to their kids. Now it's their grandkids. And I think it's really cool that you've actually created a legacy for a family. So let's talk about like why it's not just about a transaction. It's really about the longevity and the relationship. And Real Estate Shield, I think, really does help that as well.
Yeah, well, we move people in knowledge. I'm not a salesman. I literally didn't even make it to junior year of high school, let alone take college curriculums and join sales or anything else like that. So understanding the knowledge first. And there's a lot of people that are very smart, but they sit on the couch. So you have to back that with action. And so when it comes to having served hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families in less than 5 years in real estate, but also understanding how it released me from the shackles of the rat wheel of life and provided me financial security, which then led me into financial freedom, was something that I really want every single family to be able to feel at some point in their lineage, because it's a freeing type scenario. It allows you to focus on your passions that then become your purpose in life. And you use that to help elevate God's people, God, grace, Allah, Buddha, the universe. I don't care what it is you believe in. I believe we all have one original source. And when you help others get what they want, you'll ultimately get what you want. And I know, being a renter, I used to hate the first day of the month, but now being a homeowner and an investor, I love the first day of the month. This money will just roll in like a waterfall that just doesn't stop. It's crazy that you could even make a bad decision and blow all your money over a 30-day period, and then it replenishes the first of the month that next month. And the longer you hold it, the more those rents go up. The more you hold it, the more the equity goes up that you can then leverage to get other properties, business ideas, put kids through college. It's truly an asset. And we need to understand what's an asset, what's a liability, what's an appreciating item, what's a depreciating item. And it all starts with knowledge. So that's why Real Estate Shield is the fundamental aspect of having the highest level customer journey, the highest level knowledge base, and partner together to save the agent time, extract all the negotiation items that need to be done to further negotiate to get your clients a better deal, while then providing a safeguard for your clients to know that they are cared about because they have the information and we don't have to go find it and read through it, because people are going to hit ejectocito and quit reading through those documents and just sign them before they'll ever read every single line of that DocuSign.
So good. So good. What's next for Deven?
The next step is just putting my full faith into Real Estate Shield and the impact that this could have for the real estate landscape. We're going to change how real estate is done from coast to coast. Clients are going to love it. as far as the buying and the selling, because it's providing a literal spoon-fed approach with exciting times, great meetings, just an abundance of just information ready at their disposal, while also just leading by example in everything that I do. So I'm pushing my real estate portfolio forward. I'm not too focused on acquiring new properties at the moment. I want to take a 12, 18-month hiatus from new acquisition of properties and focus on maximizing my own parcels, focusing on density bonuses. Can we take this property, say in Ocean Beach in San Diego, where it's a duplex, but we're taking it to 8 units? Right? Like leveraging the new zoning and the guidelines to build more and maximize our current investments that we already have.
Love it. Where can people connect with you?
Yeah, you could connect with me on Instagram at Deven Ortiz, DevenOrtiz. I think I'm the only one in the world that spells his name Deven with 2 E's, with the last name Ortiz. You can go ahead, and if you're interested at learning more about Real Estate Shield, you go to realestateshield.com. You could hit the link for more information, fill out your first name, last name, email, and phone number. We'll contact you, answer any comments, questions, or concerns that you have about the actual product. If you want to book us on your new transaction that you have, you go to realestateshield.com, you hit book a new transaction, you put in the information, and it's as smooth as butter. It's literally ironed out. It's a rock solid product, and it's a money back guarantee. If you don't see the value in it, if your clients don't see the value in it, then we absolutely cover your first transaction at absolutely no cost. We also have a 95% success rate running 500 transactions through this pipeline that the client of the actual buying, the buyer, the seller, accrue these costs as part of their closing costs. So you could essentially move this $995 investment over towards your client, because at the end of the day, for the finest quality customer service, do you think if they have $100,000 down payment that they care about paying 101 for the best customer service? I mean, absolutely not. And we put our money where our mouth is around here at Real Estate Shield and in my personal real estate adventures and being an agent. So I'll tell people, even zero down families, that they're walking into the property, down payment assistance, et cetera, that for the first $995 that I negotiate you as part of this deal will be credited towards this service. So you could essentially increase your customer journey, provide the highest quality customer service at absolutely no cost to you personally, the agent.
Love it. And as we wrap up, there's always one question that I ask every guest on the show is, what does Deven do to play bigger in business or in life?
The one thing that I do to play bigger in business and in life is realizing that it's nothing external. It's all internal. It's, what is my thought process? What is my self-talk? What am I projecting outward that I need to really readjust internally, and that the answers are always within. In a life that we're always seeking for more information, download more, do this, etc., the answers are truly all within. You just have to silence your mind enough to be able to hear the answers that come to you just through the natural evolution of humans. And I believe that's the biggest thing that I can attribute to playing bigger. It's really focusing and taking a lot of even my money and investing it into coaches, mentors, self-development, masterminds, playing bigger. Arizona, baby. I'm loving your mastermind. Just the people that you've been able to bring in. Like I said about George, like he's one of the most impactful speakers I've ever seen, really leads by example. And the people that you bring in to help us play bigger, it's top notch. And I appreciate you for exiting your comfort zone and not just focusing on your own success, because you're successful enough. You didn't have to create a mastermind, right? You could have just said, you know what? The riches are in the niches. I'm going to stay over here and focus on this, but it's about abundance. It's about helping people get to where they want to go. And so I appreciate you for taking a massive, overwhelming process, developing a new company, bringing on people, putting together an organization and event, and executing it at a high level. We definitely got to give you applause.
Oh, Deven, you're making me blush. Thank you so much, my friend. I have loved getting to know you so quickly in this, last year. I've seen you soar, and I know that the best is yet to come. And I cannot wait to keep playing bigger and supporting you, my friend.
Appreciate you.